We have risen from the ashes to school the masses. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Scholars of Wrestling Show. I'm your man behind the microphone, Scholar Jeff. Joining us this evening, the current reigning, defending Scholars of Wrestling heavyweight champion, the one and only Mr. Scholar Brian, via satellite. Scholar Brian, how are you doing tonight?
Holy shit. He finally got the call right.
First time for everything.
But
Also
you know
joining
what?
us.
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling ready for a title defense. I like the fact that we're getting new people involved in it. All right. Hopefully he doesn't burn out like the last one. But hey,
Also joining us.
that actually wasn't towards you, Charlie.
Oh, okay.
You know
Also,
what I'm talking about.
yes, we all know, and so does also joining us this week, as always, the one and only Mr. Scholar Tarek. Scholar Tarek, how are you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing very well, thank you. But I will say, I'm now quite offended without calling me the undisputed scholar, Scholar Tarek.
And also joining us, not being offended by Brian for once, is the one and only Scholar Charlie. Scholar Charlie, how's your evening going?
Restful. Slept through SmackDown and I'm wide awake now.
Lovely. And as you might be seeing, joining us for, I think, no, not the very first time. I think you've joined us before.
Yep.
Either way, the current, until this Sunday, the current reigning Scholars of Wrestling Party Champion, the one and only, our friend of the show, Jeremy. Jeremy, thank you for joining us today. How's your night going?
Good, ladies and gentlemen, your party champion is here. Welcome to the Birdhouse, boys.
And hyping up the brand already. I love it.
One other thing, gentlemen, I am disappointed in episode 316. No one was drinking Broken Skull?
Well, to be fair, it's been getting tougher to find in the stores lately. So believe me, I tried.
That's my last one. So
I've been saving my last one.
I'm very disappointed with ourselves to begin with. How dare you? The fact that you have to reopen that old wound, sir.
Shame. When I drink a beer, it happens.
And
From
second
2 weeks ago.
I'm in my car. That's not going to work.
Yeah, responsibility.
Fair.
Anyway, as you can tell with the excess amounts of trash talk, not only is it a pay-per-view week, not only is it a prediction show, not only is it a title match, it is Survivor Series, which means titles aplenty, trash talk all over the place, and that means we've got some predictions to do, gentlemen, all for a title or multiple titles, depending on who you are and where you're at. So let's dive right into it, starting with pre-show. But Scholar Tark, do you have something to add before we begin?
Yes, I do. Let's have I'm looking at all the other prediction shows that other wrestling channels have put. How it's team so and so versus the other team so and so, and it just got me to thinking. You know what? Maybe the Scholars of Wrestling should just hop on that little party train and do a little team scholar versus scholar, where I'm going to make a proposition for Scholar Brian to have us, the inevitable second undisputed scholar and your only undisputed scholar, versus Scholar Jeff and Scholar Charlie in the Scholars of Wrestling Survivor Series.
Do tell.
Where it's just friendly competition where our combined scores will determine which of the scholars of, I guess, brand supremacy, if you will.
Team supremacy, brand supremacy?
The undisputed scholars versus Jeff and Charlie.
This is me reaching for you, Hefe. Do you accept?
Let's crush the.
Reaching for your hand, Hefe.
Let's
and it's
do
a
it.
good thing we have Jeremy here to witness history in the making. Our
It's
first
okay.
ever.
This Hefe.
They need heads.
Carry
They need
on.
That belt on Sunday, boy. It doesn't matter.
Tarek.
You know what?
Okay. They
You know
need
what?
hand signals. They need hand signals to signify their teamwork.
Hey, Brian,
We
I got 10
Oh.
signals for you right here.
We already know that we're better than them.
This for Brian right here.
It's funny
And
because it's
signals
true.
aplenty. Tarek,
Okay.
nothing but love. Brian, suck a dick.
Whoa, whoa.
I think that's my tag partner's way of saying we accept,
Charlie, I
fool.
don't want to make your
Yay! High five all of us.
Time out. Hold on. Time out.
Yes, Jaybird.
We can do teams versus teams, but I'm going to be the manager in this situation. And I'm going to go with the underdogs. I'm going to go with Charlie and Jeff on this one.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Does your
You're
name have
welcome.
Scholar in the front of it?
Doesn't matter.
Oh, it matters.
Oh,
It
This is
doesn't.
the battle of the scholars, and
No, no,
I'm sorry,
sorry.
Jaybird. Unless you win the championship, that
Tarek,
you're
Scholars
done more than just a
wrestling
guest.
champion, buddy boy. I get to
Alright.
say it.
Tarek, it's okay. They're gonna need all the help they can get. Okay, that's it.
all right. All this trash talk aside, we have some very important business to get to, don't we? We've got some very serious and high stakes predictions to make. Speaking and just kicking things off with the kickoff show, just announced or discovered today, the .com, for those who haven't noticed, have just very quietly announced that there's going to be a kickoff battle royal between the two brands. No official competitors have been announced yet. So right now it's a crapshoot on who will win, let alone what brand. So let's start right in with the current champion, you, Brian. Cross-brand battle royal for the kickoff show. Who do you have to win and why?
You say it's a crapshoot. I say because this person isn't on one of the Survivor Series teams, that it's completely fucking obvious. Big Royal Rumble wins the Battle Royal. He's look, okay, they're pushing him big. He hasn't lost since they split up. Since he went singles. Okay, he hasn't lost. Okay, so I thought they were going to put him on the Survivor Series team. Since they didn't, there's no reason to win the Battle Royal. There's nobody else. I'm sorry.
Are
If
you
he's
though?
If he's in that match, there's no reason he shouldn't win.
You know what? I'm going to go with Big E as well. However, I don't think the margin for victory is that assured as you're thinking. With the way this is positioned, this can go a number of different ways. Is Big E a possible favorite to win in my mind? Yes, it's certainly possible. However, I think there's a few other names that come to mind that have a possibility of winning this, a legit possibility, especially if it's on the pre-show. In my mind, a lot of things go here, but honestly, I'm going to have to join you on Big E. Next pick goes to Charlie. Charlie, who do you got for this Battle Royal?
Well, you see, I'm going to go with Big E for the pure reason that I slept through SmackDown and Brian chose Big E.
A very educated pick. Next pick is going to Jeremy. Jeremy, who is your pick and why?
Do you really want me to do this? I don't have cable. I haven't watched SmackDown in weeks. I'm just going to go out in the dark, and I'm going to go with Jeff Hardy.
Yet another one of my possible picks. He's up there. He's on the roll. He's not on the roster, I think, or not on the active roster for the show. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I think it is a possibility. So
I
can't say you're wrong.
Okay.
And Scholar Tarek, who do you got for the Battle Royal at the kickoff show?
God, I hate this. I'm also going to go with Big E because it's an interesting pick for Jeff Hardy, but I could just see him and Elias eliminating each other to basically keep their feud going. Although I will admit, I'm actually kind of disappointed that Big E has to basically be pushed into just the pre-show battle royale, as it were. I was kind of hoping that they were just going to have Big E in one of those like last-minute title matches before the pay-per-view, have him face Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental Championship, and we get Big E versus Bobby Lashley in a continuation of the New Day Hurt Business feud that they're going at on Raw. But no, we're just not going to get the double chocolatey clotheslines between the two. So
I was waiting for you to say it.
I wanted him to be in the Survivor Series match instead of Otis. I wanted him to be in that Survivor Series match. But hey,
I do agree. I'm disappointed about that Otis was chosen. I was just going, really?
It kind of makes sense.
Nothing exemplifies brand supremacy than the guy who lost the Money in the Bank contract to a Raw guy.
But hey, he's
wrong?
a thick boy who shouts, "Oh yeah," and the people like that.
Oh yeah.
So.
Oh yeah. Oh, I will say Otis is fun, but Adam Pearce's reasons for choosing Otis is kind of just silly to me.
It's like Otis is fun, but when you have Otis and Big E, who would you choose? That's it.
No, Brandon.
Daniel Bryan.
Well, I think after these predictions, I think we have a good shot of the other more meta reason why. But hey, we'll see soon enough whether or not we're right. In the meantime, on the actual show and the actual card, we've got the U.S. Champion versus the Intercontinental Champion, Bobby Lashley versus Sami Zayn. This one is my pick starting off, and for this one, I am going to go with Bobby Lashley to win. Possibility of some Hurt Business interference, or they just make Sami Zayn look like a complete and total goober, which they have been doing lately. So the circumstances may vary, but ultimately I'm still picking Bobby Lashley to win. Scholar Charlie, who do you got? Bobby Lashley or Sami Zayn?
I too have Bobby Lashley. I'm also upset with the usage of Sami Zayn and the fact that he looks like a giant Muppet on the still screens.
Then again, people like Muppets.
I do.
Don't we all?
I'm Continental Champion to be taken a little more seriously.
Also agreed. Jaybird, who do you got? Sami Zayn or Bobby Lashley?
I'm going to go with the wild card. I'm going to go with Sami Zayn. He beat Apollo Crews on SmackDown a couple weeks ago via shenanigans, but I'm going to go with him versus pulling some shenanigans in this match and beating Bobby Lashley.
Interesting. Scholar Tarek, who's your pick? Bobby Lashley or Sami Zayn?
There are two reasons why I want to pick Sami Zayn to win this match. One, it's because as Jaybird was putting it, he's the guy who's who's basically finding ways to win his matches through any form of shenanigans. Two, it's because it's the Intercontinental Champion, and as he put it, the Intercontinental Championship is more superior than the United States Championship. I know you have a replica United States Championship, Jaybird, but it still doesn't take away the fact that it's still true that the Intercontinental Championship is way more important.
This belt ever will be.
Huh?
No, I was saying the IC title will be way more prestige than this belt ever will be.
Oh, absolutely.
Agreeing with you, sir.
But it's also the fact where we're once again getting Bobby Lashley versus Sami Zayn. And as we've seen it in the past, when it comes to Bobby Lashley versus Sami Zayn, through either throwing him in a dumpster or... Oh, wait, that was Braun that threw him in the dumpster. But still, you got your sisters. You got the Lashley sisters. And the fact that the Hurt Business is such a hot commodity right now, I just can't for the life of me, I can't see WWE choosing Sami Zayn over this, even with shenanigans. It's hard for me. I'm like, this is the one where I'm trying to think, do I go with my heart or my head? And I guess I kind of have to go with my head on this one. So yeah, Bobby Lashley.
Disappointment.
Scholar Brian, are you going to be interesting or are you going to be a boring man?
I
What are you
appreciate
insinuating?
the moxie.
I
It
think you're a
takes-
great storyteller.
I appreciate the moxie it takes for someone to come in to a prediction show and make ballsy picks. Okay.
It's worked for me in the past.
Exactly.
No, it hasn't.
Just say, yes, it has. Yes, it has.
Not as much as you think.
Zack Ryder.
That's all you have. Lacey Evans.
Sheamus.
However, piggybacking off of what Tarek said, okay, the Hurt Business is basically the best commodity, the second biggest commodity on Raw right now. Whereas Sami Zayn, all right, just took a pinfall loss on SmackDown tonight. They don't take him seriously, okay? And Bobby Lashley is in the second biggest storyline on Raw. So, as much as I would like to pick Sami Zayn, I pick Sami Zayn all the time when it's not against Bobby Lashley.
So you're going Bobby Lashley?
Bobby Lashley, there's going to be a murder.
God,
and the dead guy is Sami Zayn. That's it.
With my prediction card, with my prediction paper right now, I got my double chocolatey clothesline.
Okay,
Because
then.
it's 4 ways Big E and 4 ways Bobby Lashley.
Okay, then. All right. Speaking of Big E all over the place, for our next match, we've got the Battle of the Tag Team Champions. We've got the New Day versus the Street Profits. And let's see, our next pick is going to go for, yes, Charlie, you've got the first pick. Who do you've got? The New Day versus the Street Profits.
Brian, I know why you're cracking up.
He's been bitching about it all week.
To set everybody into context, this was my stress pick of the card. This was horrible. I had the card written 3 times, and I kept changing my opinion on this match. But then I finally saw a pattern in the card, and I'm going New Day. New Day for supremacy.
All right. Very interesting.
It's Sami Zayn, so come on, man.
Hey, this can still go any number of ways. This is a prediction show. This is where we all lay it all on the line. And Jaybird, it's your to pick. New Day versus Street Profits. Who do you got?
If you can tell by the forehead slap, I'm going Street Profits.
Interesting. All right. Next up, we've got Scholar Tarek. Who do you got?
I really wish I got something out of like this and the Intercontinental United States Championship, and honestly the Women's Championship match really got little to no build for this. So I'm gonna I wish there was some way I'm trying to think what's the best way to really look at this from a booking perspective and I'm gonna go with the Street Profits.
Thank you.
I just see them getting more out of the win than the New Day. Holy crap, Charlie's spinning.
Yeah, I think we're losing.
Next up, Brian, your pick. Who do you got? Street Profits or New Day?
Gotta say, I gotta agree with everybody else. This is the hardest. This is the hardest one to actually take an objective look at it and be like, who's gonna win here? Because the heart says that it's time to put over a new tag team. So it's like Street Profits. But then the head goes, okay, but it's like every time I pick a different team, the New Day comes and just says "fuck you" and wins. But you
Okay.
know what? I'm gonna fucking do it. It's time to put over a new tag team. Street Profits win.
And I gotta say, Brian, your thought process definitely replicates mine. On the one hand, yeah, newer, younger, up and coming tag team. You traditional logic did say so you gotta put them over. WWE have been known to keep putting over New Day because the New Day brand, even when they split up the members, still a big name.
I see where he's going
And
with this.
yeah, and plus they just got DLC for Gears 5. So really, it's like there's a counterpoint to all this, but ultimately there's only one big point that's a tipping point for me in my personal selection, and that is to give this whole prediction show an even split. I'm going with the New Day.
Mm-hmm. I saw that coming a mile away.
Plus, my wife is a big time New Day fan, so I kind of gotta.
You don't get the DLC and get a win at Survivor Series. Doesn't happen, sir. You're up, Charlie. Go ahead. You've been pointing for
And
that.
I quote, looking at my Apple Watch here, Brian said that it is the second easiest match to call on the card. And that New Day was a lock.
Okay.
But I'm just throwing that out there, Mr. Champ.
Was. Are you seriously though, Brian?
Says the guy who slept through SmackDown.
Was that like part of your
true.
mind games, Brian? Be honest.
Maybe.
He's like, sure, let's go with that.
Got to change his pick, didn't it?
But I'm happy you disagree, Champ, because that puts a difference between us.
Yeah, we'll see how the rest of the night goes.
True.
Because we still got the Survivor Series matches.
Speaking of the rest of the night, we've got the battle of the women's championships. We've got Asuka versus Sasha Banks. Jaybird, you got first pick this time. Asuka, Sasha, who do you got?
You go with your wife for the New Day. I'm going to go with my fiance as a huge Asuka fan via submission. We got a tap out coming.
And
Interesting.
I've seen their matches. I've seen the win-loss record, and Asuka is due, okay? She is the top woman in the WWE, and she's going to take that.
Tarek, do you concur or deny? Who do you got, Sasha or Asuka?
I'm not gonna lie. I did have a secure win. I had a secure prediction on this one, but after what happened on SmackDown tonight, I'm not so they made it less clear.
I think I know what you're alluding to. Yes.
Just from how we've seen WWE booking in the past, and
what shall you do?
It's actually funny. Of the matches, this was the hardest one. This is the hardest one for me. Uh-huh.
I need you to remember that based off of other Survivor Series, outside feuds do not matter when it actually comes to the show.
It's the new bragging rights.
Or does it?
Son of a bitch, man.
Gun your head. Pick someone. What shall you do?
I had a coin to flip it here, because I'm reaching to that point now. You guys mimicking a clock doesn't change anything.
No, that's carrying cross. That's what we're doing.
Because I could go because I got.
You know what? Yeah. You know what? Go ahead. I need to think about this one more.
Ah, come on.
Asuka versus Sasha Banks has been done throughout the year, and Asuka has won every time. equals, it's time for Sasha Banks to win. Sasha Banks is on a roll. She just did The Mandalorian. That just came out. She's on the hottest streak of her career right now. And she's already lost 2 or 3 times to Asuka so far this year. Okay. She's due more than Asuka is. Sasha gets the win for SmackDown.
Tarek?
It's funny because I was thinking of the Star Wars being on Mandalorian, but I'm like, that was pretty much my reason why she was going to win the women's title in the first place. I don't know if I could keep going back to that, but in all honesty, you convinced me. You convinced me, Brian. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Sasha.
Yeah, I had to go back and forth with this one too. There's only one thing that sort of gives me pause about the whole Mandalorian thing. They haven't hyped it up at all. They haven't hyped up her appearance on the show.
They've only done it socially on social media.
Yeah, and I still, again, I'm going to split the room yet again, and because this Carmella stuff, I'm assuming that's what you were referring to before, where it's because that Carmella attacked her right tonight on tonight's episode of SmackDown, that it's not going to go quite as cleanly on the actual show itself. So, you know what? I'm gonna go with my gut here, and my gut says that WWE is going to do what WWE is going to do, and I think what WWE is going to do is make Carmella interfere in the match, cost Sasha the match, and give Asuka the victory through nefarious means. Which brings us to Charlie with a dead even split. Have fun.
How could you guys do this to me? You're the manager. You're my partner in this. I slept through SmackDown. I don't even know about Carmella.
You know about her wine, though. You got cases of stuff.
Oh,
no! What really sold me was the fact that Asuka just stood there and just watched Sasha basically get her ass handed to her. So if Asuka actually, did something to help Sasha look strong, and then Sasha took out Carmella, it would have been a completely different story. It's the big factor that actually was a good fact that helped change my answer was the fact that Asuka stood there and did nothing.
But then again, I feel like it's not really an indication of anything on Asuka's part, at least not necessarily. I feel like there's a lot of people on the roster who, if you knew that your opponent had a feud with some other person on the roster, why would you get involved? Unless you're like a turbo babyface, why would you get involved?
She kind of is a turbo babyface, though.
Asuka? Asuka's like a chaotic Japanese force of nature. She's like I don't even know what.
The only thing though, to be fair, she did just watch while Lana got their asses handed to got her ass handed to her on Monday in that sad 6-woman tag.
I love how Charlie's freaking out right now.
It's not like it's okay. It's not like there's belts on the line or anything.
Jeremy, I'm sorry, guys. Sasha Banks for the win.
Oh, fuck you.
Yeah, damn you having an opinion of your own.
Boo. I'm
Because Jeff just completely threw the idea out the window that WWE doesn't take outside feuds in the Survivor Series. Nope. They have it for the last 4 years, and they're not going to do it now. Okay, that's it.
Okay, but here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, though. Even if you're right, we've said it right out of the gate when it comes to this feud. Asuka does still have a winning record against Sasha Banks. Exactly. But even by that logic, is Sasha due? Yes, you could absolutely say that. You honestly could. But then again, this is one of those factors where this is legitimately what makes this match so tough to call. You can make a good, solid case for either woman, and honestly, it's going to be like, hey, I just want to see where the points lie, and I just want to see these two ladies just kick the crap out of each other. It's going to be great.
See, I like that second part. See these ladies kick the crap out of each other. Gonna be a great match. It always is. But if Asuka wins again, Sasha has never beaten Asuka. Never.
At least clean.
But
At
that's
least
the
clean.
issue I have.
I'm not even certain she's beaten her not clean.
No. That's how she won the Raw Women's title, like secured her Raw Women's title with the count out. Remember when Bayley attacked
Oh yeah.
God, why am I why am I blanking out? Oh my God, why am I blanking out on her name?
Oh boy.
Bayley.
When Bayley attacked
Kairi Sane.
Kairi Sane. Wow. Was beating up Kairi Sane, and Asuka, as a complete babyface goober, ran and cost herself the match.
Hey, crazier things have happened.
She hasn't gotten a clean win, because the first time was when Bayley put on the referee shirt and counted the pin. The second time was when Asuka got herself counted out. She hasn't had a clean victory.
And I think she's due. So yes.
Plus, now she's a Mandalorian, so it's very rare to see a Mandalorian lose.
But I disagree, because 9 times out of 10, when WWE has the win, like you have someone who beats someone every single time, 9 times out of 10, it's normally, okay, we could give Sasha the win because that'd be the right thing to do. But no, we're going to stomp her face in the ground and have Asuka beat her again. That's what they always do. Every single time.
Except when they actually point out that Asuka has had her number, which is what they did on SmackDown. The fact that they pointed out that Asuka has a bigger advantage over Sasha. That's how they've been doing that. They did that with Becky Lynch, and they're going to do this now with Sasha.
I doubt it.
All right. Well, I guess we've just reached the point where only time will tell, and we'll see on Sunday. But ultimately, Sunday. And moving on to the next match on the card, we've got Drew McIntyre versus Roman Reigns. Fool, it's your pick. Reigns, McIntyre. Who wins?
This is the type of thing that makes me that I respect WWE. They only had a storyline for 3 shows, and I can't be any more invested from what they did with these three shows. With last week's SmackDown, Drew and Roman going talking smack against each other. Raw, Drew re-winning the WWE Championship. And now this go-home angle with the contract signing. I absolutely loved their back and forth. Both guys were just amazing. And just the part that really, this is going to be the one match where I'm actually going to go with my heart on this one. Because that, just from what Roman said, as him being the secondary champion and just completely shooting him down and just saying you'll be my favorite number 2. I loved everything about that. And that's just I don't want Roman to be right. I want, and I'm also thinking who can really benefit more with this win? And yeah, I'm going to go with my heart. I'm going to pick Drew McIntyre to win this match. And I'm actually going to throw a bonus in there. I see McIntyre winning, and I see Roman and Jey Uso basically beating down Drew McIntyre, and the angle closes with The Miz cashing in on Drew McIntyre to win the WWE Championship.
Interesting.
And if I get that right, that's a bonus point. Because that's the rules of Money in the Bank.
Bonus point.
That's the rules of Money in the Bank. When someone makes a prediction of a cash in, and gets it correct, they get a point.
That
But
has
if not, then I just lose my opportunity to make that call again.
Okay. Brian, what's your pick?
shit. Tonight made this harder than it needed to be. Okay, that's it.
With the wrong
Because
smack.
I feel like we've been
because
saying that
it's
way
like-
too much.
It was so good.
Before tonight, okay, Roman Reigns all day, every day, just the way he's been But tonight he went in on Drew McIntyre so hard that it's like
I know, right?
it's also okay. I don't think you can have Roman Reigns lose at this point with the character and what he's doing, all that. I think that outside influences get involved, and when Drew McIntyre is doing too good, okay, and is about to take out Roman Reigns, okay, outside influences get involved, and Roman Reigns picks up the scraps and gets the victory. Okay, because here's the deal. Okay,
I thought about that, but I have let me hear what you said, but I have a rebuttal.
it's just with the character the way that he is and the way that he's been bought. I don't think you can have Roman Reigns lose until it's time to take the title off of him. That's just the way I feel. The way he's been bought, the way that he's been portrayed, the character that he has. Okay, it's one of those like he doesn't lose until it's time to overcome. Okay, like how the Fiend was supposed to be when he came in. I feel like that's Roman Reigns is in the Brock Lesnar position at this point. I feel you don't have Roman Reigns lose until it's time to put the next big guy over him. And that'll be at WrestleMania or somewhere around there. But you can have Drew McIntyre give him the fight of his life. Have Drew McIntyre about to win, and then gets completely screwed over. And that's what I'm going with. And I'm picking Roman Reigns to get the win here.
I thought about that as well, but I also was looking at the fact of if the outside interference happens and Drew continues to fight on, and as there's more outside interference, who but to come out but Roman Reigns' next feud in Daniel Bryan to basically be that distraction. And he's not going to get involved, but it's going to distract Roman enough that he's going to turn around into a Claymore. 1, 2, 3. And as Drew celebrates, showing his supremacy, because I do agree, the bigger deal is when he loses full on clean to someone. And this is no one's going to really give a shit about Survivor Series because it's just more about the bragging rights. And I see basically Roman basically teaching Drew a lesson. You take advantage of me. And we have basically Jimmy come out since Daniel took out Jay and then led on to the Miz cash in.
And the caveat there, okay, if no one's going to give a shit, why are you having Roman Reigns lose at all? So that's one of the
same reason they had Brock Lesnar lose matches as well when it's not a big deal.
And I feel like we're alluding to something very interesting here, and I'm totally here for, is that there's going to be shenanigans, there's going to be interference. I think we can all agree on that, at least so far. We haven't gotten to Jaybird and Charlie yet. But I'm going to agree with you on that. But to me, I'm looking at this in the bigger picture because I've been seeing some reports that WWE Brass wants the McIntyre Reigns program to be like this generation's Rock Austin. And I was a little skeptical at first, but then when I saw these two like trading verbal barbs, so to speak, I can actually see this going. I think there's some serious validity to that statement. However, we know that there's going to be interference, but the question is, which way is it going to go? What is the ref actually going to see, and what's the final outcome going to be? As for me, right now, I'm leaning towards Roman's people are going to be running in. Jey Uso is going to be running in. Someone's going to be running in. It could be Rikishi. I don't know. But ultimately, to me, the question comes down to, is it going to be a disqualification and the win ends up going to Drew McIntyre by DQ? Or does the ref miss it and the match go to Roman? Right now, I can see it definitely going either way. Since I do see this as a feud starter, it can open things up in so many different ways. Since there's no titles on the line, technically, this is just a straight up wrestling match. It can escalate in any number of ways from here. I'm going to go with Roman Reigns. I think that he is definitely shaping up to be the heel in this scenario. Drew McIntyre could absolutely conceivably win. He's proven me wrong in the past. But for tonight, if there has to be a coin flip somewhere, my coin flip's going to Roman Reigns tonight.
I also just don't want them to turn Roman into 2003 Triple H, where he pretty much and Drew would basically be the Booker T booked, where it's just like, yeah, you're always gonna be a loser, and then ends up with pretty much the bad guy who called him a loser ends up being right. I don't want to have it looked at that way.
Mm. Charlie, your pick. Who do you got? Drew McIntyre or Roman Reigns?
I think either way that this goes, Drew or Roman, Miz is walking out of Money in the Bank as champion. With that being said, is walking out of Survivor Series as champion, cashing in the Money in the Bank.
Say it.
Anywho, I think there are far more enemies against Drew right now, and that includes the family. And I also think that Roman just needs to keep being built as the head of the table. He can't take a loss. I feel like Drew can take losses and still be Drew and still kick people's heads to the fifth row. Roman Reigns, I just feel he has to win it.
And Jay Bird, how is this going to go? Reigns or McIntyre?
I got to go with the opposition. I got to go with my heart. I got to go with McIntyre. Because, look, you can be the greatest heel in history, but yet, I'm sorry, Roman Reigns, you, sir, are boring. You're Brock Lesnar, boring. And you're just going to be a boring champion over and over again, like all the great heels in history. You're going to have McIntyre come in, kick his head off. He's going to pin Roman Reigns and Tarek. When Miz cashes in on Roman, you're going to owe me a title belt.
Holy shit!
Was that English?
Right. So wait, are you calling a title attack on a cash in on as well?
Yep, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna go opposite of Tarek. Roman is gonna get
actually do that.
McIntyre, and Miz is gonna cash in on Reigns.
He can cash in on whoever he wants.
Can Miz do that? Can he cash in on Reigns?
I think he can.
One baby.
It started
All right.
out SmackDown guy.
Lock it in, Jeff.
I will say I won't go.
It's already locked in.
Extreme. I will not go that extreme. Reigns is no longer a boring character. The complete opposite. I think he is. I think he's just an amazing character with this one, and
he's all of his life.
Yeah, this is honestly, this is the best that he's really ever been since the ending of the Shield. Really. As much as Vince wants to say otherwise, giving him 5 WrestleMania main events in a row. But yeah.
This time he'd actually deserve it, I think. If they gave it to him this year.
Yeah, but I won't go that far, and I won't go to the extreme where Miz cashes in on Roman. No, thank you. He's gonna be the champion on USA, where his Miz and Mrs. is on. He's not gonna be a champion on Fox. Fox won't even allow that. It was like, Miz, get that off him. He's
All right.
Sir, we
Watch
shall see.
his words.
He'll have it for a week and then Roman will eat it.
He won't even
All
last
right.
a week. Because it'll be on Friday when he loses it. So it won't even be a week.
He'll have it for a week and then Roman will eat him.
He'll eat him
All
in
right.
5 days.
All right. Now we're moving on to the big stuff. We're talking the Survivor Series matches, starting with the women's Survivor Series match. We've got Team Raw featuring Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler, Lana, Lacey Evans, and Peyton Royce versus Team SmackDown, Bianca Belair, Ruby Riott, Liv Morgan, Bayley, and Natalya. And I believe, Brian, it's back to you. Who do you got? Team Raw or Team SmackDown? Women's Survivor Series.
They built up Team SmackDown too hard tonight. I feel like they built them up so much that it's like, okay, Team SmackDown's gonna lose, and I'm gonna be that. I've been saying it for weeks now,
I'm there with you. I
And
am
I'm
in the
gonna
exact same
keep-
boat.
and I'm gonna do it again. Okay. Nia Jax is going through a table. That's how she's gonna get eliminated. And Lana's gonna accidentally find a way to be sole survivor of the match. Okay. Like I could see it coming down, like Lana and Nia Jax both go through the table. Lana never gets eliminated. Like they completely forget about her, and then just like Bianca Belair beats Shayna Baszler, thinks it's over, and then Lana just rolls her up and gets a win. I'm just like, I feel like the way that they've been building up Lana, just taking these tables week after week after week, and when she's not doing it, she's accidentally finding ways to be winner of matches that she has no business winning. That it's been building up to something. It's been building up to something huge, and I think we're getting it at Survivor Series. Team Raw wins. Lana is your sole survivor. That's it.
Okay.
I'm going ballsy. Let's go.
Not ballsy. It's not ballsy at all.
No.
All right. Now, just to clarify, you're the clean sweep rule. You only lose points if you pick a complete clean sweep of one team or the other.
Yeah. If the one team doesn't get eliminated, like if no members of a team gets eliminated.
Okay. So, in other words, I can pick all other 4 members of the team to survive, and I get a point for each person who survives on the team, correct?
Mm-hmm.
That's how that works?
Yeah.
All right. In which case, I'm going to do the stupid thing, and I'm going to pick Team Raw to win. And I'm going to pick everybody but Peyton Royce. So I'm going to rake in the points.
unless
You're not
everyone else gets eliminated.
Evans, I'll tell you that right now. That's it.
But what if she does?
But spaghetti Bombay.
But
Well, it's like-
spaghetti Bombay.
You could potentially get a lot of points, but you could potentially not if, let's say, like with Brian's prediction.
Is Peyton Royce seriously going to be the sole survivor?
Yes.
Wait. Exactly. So she's the safest bet.
To take.
So I can do nothing but earn more points. As
Possibly.
That's why I clarified the rule. I can do nothing but earn more points, with the sole exception of if either SmackDown wins or if Raw wins, but Peyton ends up being the sole survivor.
You shouldn't have answered the question. See if he went full ballsy. That's it.
Anyway, Charlie, it's your pick.
Shit, I should.
You're my manager.
I forgot to write that down with my reaction to it. So.
You're my manager and you're my tag team partner, and I'm agreeing with my rival. The fuck? Lana, sole survivor, Team Raw.
It's funny that he said that since last week he thought that was completely insane.
You know what, Tark? I think you're completely insane, and I love you, big guy.
Oh.
No, he actually went in on all of us last week when he said that.
He did.
All right, Jaybird, your pick. Team Raw or Team SmackDown? Who survives?
I'm going Team Raw, and I'm going with the tag team champions because they are a wrecking crew right now. Nia Jax and Baszler destroy everything. They're gonna friggin' destroy the rest of the team, and boom, there it is. Those two are gonna be the two sole survivors. I'm sorry, but Team SmackDown, all you have is friggin' Bayley and Bianca Belair are the only two good. Everything else is garbage on the team. It's a no-brainer.
I can't disagree with that. I can't disagree with that last statement.
All right.
I wouldn't say Natalia is garbage. She's just boring.
Boring garbage in the same job.
Not really. Garbage is when they put on crappy matches. Natalia does not.
Fair point,
Technically not garbage, but sometimes booked like it. Good enough? Eh?
I agree.
Sure.
To an extent.
Anyway,
sure.
Tarek, your final pick. How's this going to go down?
I'm also going to go with Team Raw, and I'm also going to go with Lana being the sole survivor. And here's how I picture it going to go. Nia Jax is just going to put Lana through the table at the very, very beginning, taking her out at the very beginning of the match. So, and it's let's see, Peyton Royce and Lacey Evans are going to be eliminated quickly. Sorry, not sorry, fool.
As long as Peyton's first.
Peyton will go first.
I'm fine with this.
And the final four, as it will, is going to be Nia, Shayna, Bianca, and Bayley. And it's all going to be basically going down to Nia and Shayna versus Bianca Belair. And she's going to beat Shayna Baszler first, and she's gonna basically pull a surprise upset over Nia. Nia and Shayna are gonna basically beat down on Bianca Belair after she thinks she won, and Lana's just gonna crawl in and steal the pin. Lana's not gonna do anything except just make the cover. She's not gonna do a roll up. She's not gonna do anything spectacular. She's gonna get up. She's gonna be in so much pain. She's gonna look at Bianca completely after Nia and Shayna completely take her out, and just roll in and steal the pin. 1, 2, 3, and that's going to be the big surprising moment. And then, as Nia and Shayna are walking away, seeing the pin, they're just going to be like, "Really, Lana? Really, you won? Okay."
Okay, indeed.
It turns purple and smells like rainbow sherbet. Thank you very much.
All right. And for the final match on the card, we've got the men's Survivor Series match. We've got Team Raw consisting of AJ Styles, Keith Lee, Sheamus, Braun Strowman, and Riddle versus Team SmackDown, Kevin Owens, Jey Uso, King Corbin, Seth Rollins, and Otis. And let's see, I believe it's
Yours.
my turn. Yes,
Yeah,
it is
yours.
Okay. Ooh, boy, this one's gonna be tough. Let me see. For this one, I'm gonna go for a little bit of a long shot here. I'm gonna go for Team SmackDown.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go for Team SmackDown just because I feel like there's too much. I think they're going to take this as face value. There's going to be too much discord, and they're going to use this as a kickoff for some real feuds going forward in the months ahead. As for who the survivors are going to be, I am going to go with. Let me see. I'm going to go with Kevin Owens, Jey Uso, and Otis.
Otis.
I like it.
Yeah, they still like him. Owens.
Wait, who are the survivors you said? KO, Otis, and who else?
And
Jey
Seth. Jey Uso, yes.
Uso, okay. Okay.
Those are my survivors. I was going to be a complete cheeseball and to pick out 4 out of 5 to technically gain as many points as possible, but I just don't feel like Seth Rollins or King Corbin have a legit shot anywhere near any of this. So, yeah, that's my pick, and I'm sticking to it. Charlie, final picks of the evening. Who do you got? Men's Raw or Men's SmackDown?
I'm gonna go with
There is no
I know what team I'm going with, but I'm wondering if I should go for broke or go for comfy.
What will you do?
I've disagreed with my team so much that points right here don't really matter. So, clean sweep Raw.
Ooh, he's risking it.
Big money right there.
For the biscuit.
Holy shit.
You're welcome.
All right.
That is ballsy, sir. That is ballsy.
Big risk. Big risk indeed.
And anyway,
right.
I'm Brian at TLC. So as long as they don't include stairs this year, I have a shot.
Dude, you need to realize that I might not even be champion for TLC.
That's okay. I get a title shot against anybody.
Exactly.
No, that was only against me. That didn't confirm against anybody else.
Well, you know what? I only need the party championship. I held the world championship for 5 minutes. Suck on that.
And I only cried for
Charlie,
5
I love you,
minutes.
but you need a lot more than the party championship.
I know. I need the Rumble, blah, 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 blah. Yes.
Blah, 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 blah.
And more importantly than anything, I need to watch SmackDown and go to sleep.
And snuggle with your blankie and go nap.
No offense to everyone else, but honestly, if there's anyone who I want to see with the beef case, it is you, Charlie.
Oh, thank you. I'd love to hold your beefcake.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everyone. I kind of want to see. I could see him pulling Miz with the beef case.
Mark, I would hold your beefcake anytime. Just know that. Warms my soulless heart.
All right, Jay Bird, let's stop talking about beef cases. Jay Bird, tell me your thoughts.
Okay, so I love me some Kevin Owens. I love me some freaking Seth Rollins. Love me some Otis. But I'm going to go with Team Raw. And it's going to be Styles and Keith Lee, Soul Survivors.
Oh, you're playing it safe. That's adorable.
I'm sorry, but freaking Vince fucks me over every time I try to win the damn belt here, so I'm going to play it safe.
Hey, variety is fun. Variety is fun.
This
you know what?
The biggest
pain ever.
in the ass. My fiance has been like, why are you stressing over the final match? I'm like, it's friggin' you have to pick the damn survivors. and I have to go with Vince's two biggest erections, which are Styles and fucking Lee right now. Yes, I said it.
Okay.
I would agree to that if Keith wasn't.
It's actually true. Not gonna lie. but,
Right.
but
Okay.
You guys know so much about Vince's erections.
You are the biggest man who's 6 feet tall.
Hell, how old is he? Does he still get erections anymore?
He probably needs blue chew.
Don't answer that,
Vince
please.
McMahon is the genetic crack cover.
Blue chew for Vince McMahon because old.
Tarek, your pick. For the love of everything holy in this world, just give me an answer.
I'm gonna go with Team Raw, and I'm not gonna go full clean sweep. I'm gonna go. The survivors is gonna be Braun, Keith Lee, Sheamus, and Riddle. I'm pulling a fool here on this one. I'm
All
picking
but AJ.
All but AJ, and this.
Ooh.
And in all honesty, I see AJ taking the loss and kind of like eventually getting the group together. And it's all, for one thing, I just can't pick a team that has Baron Corbin in it to win. I stopped predicting Baron Corbin since the Royal Rumble when I thought he was going to win against Roman Reigns, because I'm just thinking the man just keeps losing. He has to get some win and he doesn't. So I'm pretty much pulling a Lacey Evans with King Corbin and just never predicting him again.
I didn't say I wasn't going to predict Lacey Evans ever again.
No. That's what I said. Trust me, I've been watching some older episodes, and it was an episode I had with just you, fool, and I said I'm never predicting Lacey Evans ever again.
Okay, I was like, wait a minute, what?
No, this is something.
Okay.
AEW, that's why.
And also, I'm the reason I picked AJ to get eliminated because I don't know if you guys watched my Raw deal, which probably you didn't.
Yes, I did.
I did. I love the thumbnail, by the way.
Yeah.
Thank you. There was just something I saw. I don't know. I may just be looking into it, but I saw something about Mustafa Ali basically calling out AJ and AJ trash talking him in Retribution on commentary. And I just looked at it as like, are they hinting at a possible feud with AJ Styles and Ali? Because I really don't want that because Retribution's booked like shit.
Yep.
But I see them throwing some kind of something out there with Ali and AJ Styles, where I can see an interference from Retribution taking AJ Styles out of the match. So it's
interesting.
I'm not just picking AJ Styles, kind of what Jeff did, picking Peyton Royce. I'm doing it because I actually see some storyline possible. Like I said, I may just be looking into it. I may just be seeing bullshit. But I will say, if anything, if Ali gets a feud with AJ Styles, at least he's being put in the right direction, even though we all know what's going to happen to it.
Exactly.
All right, and with that, Brian, take us home. Who do you got, and who survives?
Team SmackDown.
Oh shit.
Jey Uso.
Jey Uso's sole survivor?
That's it.
When was the last time that actually there were like Survivor Series where the matches just were one survivors? That's interesting.
Because I'm gonna put it this way, okay? For Raw, okay, Braun Strowman and Sheamus are gonna cancel each other out. Okay. I feel like everybody on Raw has got to take out AJ Styles. Everybody on Raw hates AJ Styles. That's just the way it is. Okay. And I don't think they're going to give Keith Lee the same push that they gave him last year. I don't think they're going to have him do that again. Okay. You have Jey Uso in this huge story right now, who's basically the top underling for the biggest name in the company right now. The hottest thing going in the company right now. As much as Jay Bird shakes his head and doesn't like it, it's the truth. So that's it. So it's the. I can see where Jeff was going with the Kevin Owens. I don't think Otis. I think Otis might be one of the first ones eliminated. To be completely honest, I also don't see I also don't see Corbin because he's Corbin, and I because Seth Rollins is taking time off after Survivor Series, I don't see him surviving. So I can see Kevin Owens, but I mean the one with the biggest storyline going on right now. Okay, and he's gonna have Roman Reigns in his ear in the backstage the whole time. So he's gonna be like, I'm doing it for the family and all that. And they've been building up Jey Uso huge. Yeah, he took the loss tonight, but it was in like a 20-minute 5-star match with Daniel Bryan.
So good. Hell,
So,
even the Seth Buddy match was really good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff this week.
So it's like they've been building them up so huge the last couple months. Why not? Why not?
Well, I gotta say,
and also Jaybird, from what you said during your little soliloquy about the Vince McMahon and the WWE doing everything to fuck you over for predictions and all that. Just listening to your predictions tonight, you're doing a pretty good job of that yourself.
Ooh, Bird.
oh.
That's it.
Well, I'll tell you what. This prediction show is everything I hoped it would be and more. This is literally anybody's game, and it's going to be the championship is going to be anyone's title. And I can't wait to see what happens on Sunday. It's going to be amazing. But now is the time in the show where we turn it over to our audience. What do you think? What is going to happen? Who's going to walk away with which titles? We want to hear from you, wherever you are, all across the internet. YouTube comments, Facebook posts, and our personal favorite, Twitter. Wherever you are, we want to hear from you. So, especially if you're on Twitter, because we tend to be the most active on there, looking at everybody here. So, if you want to join us, follow us at ScholarsOW for all the latest episode uploads every single week, including this week. You can also check us out on our personal accounts if you want to join the conversation and enjoy even more smack talk between all of us. Starting with the current champion, Brian, where can they reach you?
You can find me enjoying what could be my last couple days as your reigning, defending Scholars of Wrestling heavyweight champion at Atomic Beanpole.
Scholar Tarek, where can they reach you?
You can reach me being disappointed that Scholar Brian will not be at the Survivor Series party, so I could actually hand him the Scholars of Wrestling Championship. So if this were his end of his title reign, that he would have held it at least once.
Damn travel restrictions. It's okay, though, because I have the presence and the aura of a champion. Look at me, and you know that I'm the champion.
It sparkles.
And in the end, I am still the undisputed scholar at the Avataric.
And Scholar Charlie, where can they reach you?
Guys, listen. We know I have better snowballs chance in hell winning this thing with my Team Raw sweep. But there's still a chance. You can reach me at Charlene.
And Jaybird, the current party champion for the next couple days, where can they reach you?
If you want to, with my new Twitter account, because my old one got messed up, it's Hero Yui 61887. Check me out there.
Awesome. And with that, Tarek, do you have something else to add before we go?
Quick Scholars, quick talk. Do we see an interaction between Undertaker and The Fiend for his final farewell?
Yes.
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 100%.
Cool. All right, that's what I wanted to hear.
That's the
I'm wearing my Undertaker shirt, so I feel like I
Yes.
have to pull an Undertaker thing somewhere.
Absolutely. I think that's the only real question that's to be had that's left. And with that, of course, we all knew it had to be asked, especially by us, because you know who we are. We are the Scholars of Wrestling, and you have just been schooled. You're welcome. See you all at Sunday for Survivor Series.
Sunday.